Martha, A Picture Story, is a feature documentary from director Selena Miles, following the work and life of iconic New York City photographer Martha Cooper. And what a delight it is too, a wonderful portrait of the modest and quite lovely woman who, without any fanfare, created a history-making body of work. In the 1970s, as the boroughs of New York City burned, the city reeling from a decade of social turmoil, crime and financial crisis, Cooper was one of the few photographers documenting the first vivid images of a burgeoning graffiti scene. The city and its managers hated graffiti. It was seen as a symbol of the city's urban blight. The artists viewed as marauding violent street gangs, the cops certain that the key to reducing violence was crushing it. But for the many artists, many escaping problems at home, graffiti art was a new, expressive way to communicate. Like rats in the city's tunnels, these artists spoke to each other in shape, line and colour in a kind of typographical language of the streets. And Martha, A Picture Story, tracks the photographer's fascination with them and eventually her obsession, constantly trespassing to capture the artists at work.
Did I wonder why I was doing it? No, I did not wonder why I was doing it. I was just like, where's the next train?
Years later, her book Subway Art, written with fellow obsessive Henry Chalfant, one that virtually no one wanted to publish, would become one of the most sold and stolen art books of all time. Her images catalysed a global art movement that permeated boundaries of time, language and culture and became the treasured resource for generations of street artists around the world. Graffiti culture thrived in the city before the era of ubiquitous video surveillance and digital escapism. But as Cooper laments, all the pieces she photographed have gone, the walls blank and the trains relentlessly dull. She moved on after Subway Art dried up in New York, completing many humanistic projects in places like Baltimore, photographing aspects of cities that others disdained or ignored. Her technique has never changed. She simply captures the moment that catches her attention. Her greatest influence, she says, has always been the snapshot, never using special lenses or fancy angles, the presence of the photographer minimal. She's a legend, but her modesty and her curiosity has never deserted her, as she continues to document the beauty and otherwise neglected communities in a time dominated by Instagram and the selfie.
It's a lovely portrait of the woman. But I mean, there's so many interesting things. The social background to that graffiti movement in the Bronx during that time, and the fact that so many of those artists now look back and are able to reflect on what that meant to them. It wasn't graffiti to them, it was writing. And
well, that's right. Ironically, some of those pieces that have been sort of retained somehow through time are now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I love the way that the film starts with a contemporary bit of graffiti in Berlin.
Yes.
Where she goes out with a graffiti band of bandits, basically, and they're all rugged up in faces concealed and balaclavas, all dressed like terrorists, really.
Yeah.
And they take over the subways. And I never understood with graffiti how they did the big ones on buildings. You know, I thought they'd get ladders up, but in fact they've got these guns that blast it up, you know, sort of 30 or 40
smiley
metres.
faces on
Yeah,
the subway.
smiley faces like that. That's a fabulous sequence.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of very lovely filmmaking in this. Yeah, this is an absolutely fabulous movie.
What are you giving it?
I'm going to give this 4 stars.
Me too, 4.
Always my pictures are people rising above their environment. And that's what I like. People have come up to me and said, you changed my life. All I can say to them is, well, you changed my life.